bad. Dude, that was so bad. I swear to God, I was just wondering when you would end it. Oh my God.
Yeah, Abhishek shoved both his fingers into his ears and cried. Okay. Pineapple Party episode 18. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Pineapple Party podcast with myself. We got Manav, Mark, and Abhishek in the building. I don't know. We're just on an anchor call together. But tonight we got a special episode, y'all. We got the Halloween special edition. All right. Woo! Lord Sandra is watching. Lord Sandra is watching. Lord Sandra is watching. How are you guys,
doing
man?
good, man. I mean, I'm doing good. I don't know about the other
I'm
guys.
Yeah,
doing
Doing
all right.
great, G.
we're doing pretty good, man. We're all doing good. All right, that's good to hear. All right. So, what are we doing today, man?
We're just saying scary stories. Who's ready for some scary stories? Haha.
And would you know it? It's not about Lord Sandra because it is too realistic to be a podcast episode. Okay, guys. I feel like if we meme Lord Sandra a little bit more, I might lose my left arm next, yo.
Can you smell that? Can you smell the chicken adobo in the air?
Ooh. Oh my god. Smell like filtered selfies. Am I right?
Why?
gosh.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. Nah, it's just like I don't know. It's like Filipino woman. Well, Filipinas. I don't know why it's here. Filipinas. Like it's like a thing where every event they go to, they have to take multiple selfies.
Oh, don't forget the 1 meter of what do you call this? Foundation, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oof. You can build a skyscraper on that foundation, baby. Damn. Burj Khalifa. More like Burj Filipina. Got it.
Damn.
All right. I know, guys. I'm very funny. I'm gonna kill myself. But before I do that, we've got a special Halloween episode for you guys. And what happened is, Mark and I, and Manav and Abhishek decided to go out, and we went through. We browsed the internet, found a few horror stories that we thought would be interesting and spicy enough to be shared with you guys. Yeah, man.
Alright. Who wants
Guys,
to go first? Who wants to go first?
Yeah. So who's gonna go first?
I'm down to go first, Mark. Like,
Go
if
for it.
you're ready.
Oh, I'm ready, dude.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, my boy's born ready. My boy's born ready. Okay, you want to start? You want to start us off, or what? Like, just tell them what story we're telling.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about the kidnapping of Colleen Stan. It was pretty
Mhm.
popular back in the days. Like not
Yeah.
in our days, probably like our grandparents or something.
So
It-
this happened between 1977 and 1984.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a long kidnapping, dude.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was Colleen J. Stan. She's an American woman who was kidnapped by this young couple. And the thing is, like, I feel like when I first heard the title, you would expect like some old 60-year-old freak, like
Yeah, they
old
were just a
man.
few years older than her, I think.
Yeah, dude, the wife of the kidnapper is younger than she is.
Really? I thought they were around the same. The two were like older than her or something.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I like that we're discussing, but let's get to the meat and potatoes of the story.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to start us off, or
Oh, sure. What actually was
Let's go
happening
for it.
was she was trying to surprise her friend, which was in California, and she's in Oregon.
yeah,
So to get there, she was hitchhiking actually in the road, She didn't have any
Yeah.
means of transport. She was hitchhiking. So she was quite meticulous actually when she was picking. Since when before the two came, two groups or something like that asked her first if she would want to ride with them. So, but she declined because
Right.
they look suspicious, you know. So
Yeah. So you can tell from her character, like she was street smart,
yeah, yeah.
like she knew what she was doing.
So when she saw this couple and they had a child, they looked quite what do you call this?
Inviting, like
Inviting.
trustworthy.
Yeah, trustworthy.
Mm.
You want to continue or should I go on?
Yeah, I got it, man. All right. So yeah, so like Mark said, she was hitchhiking from Oregon to California, and unlike in Qatar, it's not a 30-minute trip to each corner of the country. So it was quite a journey, and she was hitchhiking. And we established that she's street smart. She knew, like, all right, there's gonna be creeps, right? Like the 60-year-old man that we assumed was her kidnapper. But then she finally stopped at the third car which approached her, and she sees a young couple, right? A young man and his wife, probably newlyweds as well, with a really young child. So
Oh,
she's thinking, yeah,
other names, dude.
oh yeah, my bad. Oops.
That's one of the highlights of
Storytelling.
the story.
Yeah, that's how I got E in English literature, by the way. But yeah, Celine Stan, which is this street smart girl hitchhiking, trying to hitchhike her way from Oregon to California. Then we have the husband. His name is Cameron Hooker,
Yep.
right? Ironic last name, I know. And the wife, Janice Hooker, with their newly born baby. So she thinking that, all right, there's a kid, they are obviously a new family, should be trustworthy enough. And she hops on into their blue van, and they head towards the destination. Along the way, right now, this is where things starts to get a little bit sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
They stop at the gas station, and Stan, the girl who was kidnapped, actually got out, left the van to go use the bathroom. And in interviews after the incident, she talked about how her inner instinct was telling her to leave this couple. Like on a surface level, they look completely
Yeah.
innocent, like people. But for some reason, when you have that
That
like
gut
gut
feeling,
instinct, right?
know.
It's like, say you're playing dodgeball and you have your back turned against the enemy team, and you suddenly duck your head down just to get the ball skim the skin of your teeth. So she has this gut feeling that something is gonna go wrong, and she needs to leave right now.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately,
He did it.
if she had listened to her gut, right, this story would have not been here
Good thing
today.
she didn't.
But
Yep.
good God, man.
Oh gosh, dude.
Oh my God.
I swear.
Dude. Okay. Yeah. Oh man.
I don't know how
Anyways,
to
yeah.
come back from that.
Unfortunately, she decided it was just maybe travel anxieties or whatever, and she's like, "All right, just relax, okay? Freshen up in the toilet, get back into the car, and lock herself in her future prison." All right, Mark, do you want to
Yeah.
continue
Okay.
how they went back or whatever?
They were actually on the road again. Then they stopped on some hill. I'm not sure. I forgot the name of the hill. They stopped on some hill. It was a country hill, so there were hardly any cars going through there. So what actually happened was the wife got out, then the husband got out. After the husband got out, Mr. Hooker went out. He went to the
Mm-hmm.
backside of the car, and he actually had a wooden box, something to put on your head, like a what do you call this?
It's like a what do you call it?
It's
Like
not,
an
it's a wooden box,
entrapment.
but
What's the word?
what do you call it?
Let me see.
Let's
It's
just
a
call,
well, they called it a head box.
yeah, head box. So they put that over her
That's
head. I mean, she had
kinky.
they put
All right,
that
now I
over her head
understand
or something like that. And inside that box, you can't actually hear anything. You can't see anything. So it's completely dark. You're completely deaf. So you have no way of knowing where you're gonna go, how you're gonna escape. So she was practically.
Yeah,
So that's the start of her imprisonment in the sense that. So after that, they actually went back to their home in where was their home, dude?
it was in um, Red Red
Red
Bluff
Bluff. Yeah, okay.
in California.
So they went to Red Bluff. And in Red Bluff, they in their house they have a basement, which is I'm pretty sure you can. It's easy to imagine the basement now that you know these people are
Yeah, it's
BDSM
like
freaks
specifically designed to
for
be
torture.
like yeah for torture. It's
What they actually
abhorrent,
did to
man.
her when they first
It's
got there was they actually got some leather or wrapped it around her hands, and they actually hanged her on the ceiling.
yeah.
Butt naked and all. You want to continue, dude?
Yeah, so basically they kidnapped her and they start torturing her through different like methods. Ultimately when the story got out, she was telling the press, but one of it was what Mark said. They would tie her up tie her up from the ceiling. She would be stripped naked and they would dehumanize her. She would be mocked and she would be tortured and whipped. And the craziest thing was because it turns out that Mr. Hooker was he was this monster with like these really physical and violent sexual tendencies, and so he was this massive. I don't know, man. Like honestly, monster is the only word
Yeah.
I can use to describe it. But yeah, he would tie her up from the ceiling, whip her, and he would force her to stay quiet. And he threatened, all right, word for word. Let me see, word for word. If she screamed or like voiced out, he would slit her vocal cord. And he told her that he's done that before. He's done that before to a previous victim. So at this point, imagine you're going to visit a friend and you don't have, a car because it's expensive, so you hitchhike, right? And you stumble upon this friendly couple and you're like, "Oh, it's calm. We're going to make it. We're going to be safe." And then 1 hour later, this exact same couple ties you from the ceiling and starts whipping you to near death. And that's what started happening regularly, daily,
The
day after
thing was
day.
though,
She would be hung. Yeah,
after that incident, the couple just resumed their normal life, and they actually kept her for 23 hours of the days. That's what she said that
yeah,
they actually kept her in a wooden box that would prevent her from moving, from shaking. The wooden
yeah,
box is more like a coffin, to be honest. So she would just stand there laying on her back for the whole day. Then, what she said was directly after the husband got home from work, he would go straight down there, remove her from the box, and actually start torturing her again. That will go on for hours.
yeah,
Then after that, they just put her back in the box. And the thing was,
yeah. But Mark,
yeah,
Mark, this was physical
this was
torture.
physical torture.
Like we need the mental torture he's been putting on her
Yeah.
as well. Mhm.
Okay, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll go for
go
that.
for it.
All right, perfect, man. Yes, so like Mark said, she was kept in the box. Quite a figurative coffin as well, because she was quite sure she was gonna die there, right? She didn't really see any way out. They're in the middle of nowhere because they're in this mobile home, which is like a, what do you call it? It's like those porta potties, you know, like the little travel houses that you can
Yeah, yeah.
attach to a trailer truck in the middle of nowhere in California, right?
Yep.
And what would happen is when she was outside of the box, in the rare times that she was allowed to be outside of the box, Cameron Hooker, the filthy monster, would try and brainwash her repetitively, tell her about this company
The
called
company.
The Company. Yeah. 10 out of 10 for creativity, please. All right. So The Company is this like slavery company
Back in the slave trade,
who
I think.
Cameron, yeah, apparently, right, which turned out to be a lie, signed both of them up for. And if the poor girl, if Colleen Stan disobeyed and tried to rebel and run for her freedom, not only her, but her entire family and maybe even friends would be killed. And because he would repeatedly brainwash her, it got to a point where she was genuinely like watching her back, when she was allowed outside for the company. She was so scared of the company, and Cameron had such a big mental hold on her, not only physical torture now, right? Mental torture as well, that to show his power, he would allow her to go on jogs by herself. He would allow her to go get a job, but she would still come back to him regularly because she was so afraid of this company known
Yeah.
as The Company.
You could let's also add that they actually changed what they called her then, right? So instead of actually using Colleen, they actually changed her name to Kay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they referred him
Yeah.
to. And I read it somewhere that that's a reference to some BDSM novel
Yeah.
in the past. I just
Yeah, it's a reference to the French erotic novel Story of
ah
O.
okay.
So this freak was getting inspiration from, this novel. He's mentally ill, man. This guy is a
Yep.
sicko. And actually, talking about mental torture, he also forces her to sign this contract
Oh yeah.
to call him master, right? To call the sicko rapist
Yeah, and if he
master.
didn't, he'll be turned into
To
some
enforce that,
she'll be given to a worse slave owner, right? That's what happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So she was constantly being threatened, right? Verbally abused, and she was also beaten. And at some point, she was put on this contraption, which is a torture device, where she would have her joints stretched. I don't know what to call it, but it's like a rotating thing. It's like a plank in the middle for the body to lie
I think
on.
they just
There's
called it the
there's two
stretcher, dude.
barrels on opposite.
I think that's what the police call.
Yeah, and stretched her to uncomfortable, not even uncomfortable, like
Cruel.
borderline near death. Yeah, near death essentially.
Near, I wouldn't say it's near that
And
because you wouldn't die from that.
dude, your joints stretch, you have your ligaments torn.
You could die from pain.
It's quite near.
You can die from pain, Mark.
Yeah, no, people die from
Oh,
shock.
okay.
Yeah, people die from shock. And she has this done to her daily. So eventually, to bring back a character we haven't spoke about, Janice
Yeah.
Hooker, right, the wife, remember, started getting jealous because Cameron, this obsessive, this like violent maniac, has become so obsessed with Colleen that he started neglecting Janice. who apparently was abused before Colleen was kidnapped. And what does Janice do, Mark?
What does Janice do?
What
Did you
did
not
Janice
read that?
do? I forgot.
He reads the story halfway and just says to be
No, no,
continued.
no. What I can remember from Janice is they
Yeah.
actually started going to church together. She became her church buddy or something like that. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, they
Colleen and
become church
Janice?
buddies or something like that. And as time progressed,
Hmm.
the torture is still happening, and they actually
Yeah.
go to church together. So after some time,
Yeah. Well, that's about to take a
yeah, yeah,
complicated turn because Janice becomes resentful of the attention Colleen was getting, and eventually she
yeah.
must have felt guilt as well
What was
because
said?
Cameron was sorry, Colleen was kidnapped for 7 years.
Uh-huh.
What's it again?
She was kidnapped for seven
Sorry,
years.
who?
Who is
Yeah,
Colleen?
Colleen, yes.
kidnapped for 7 years. Yeah.
Oh my god.
So eventually Janice started feeling guilt, and you take that guilt plus resentment from the fact that her abusive um, and savage husband was neglecting her. You take that guilt and neglect, and eventually she told Colleen that Cameron was not even part of the company
Mm-hmm.
called The Company. And eventually she must have revealed it was not true because at some point Colleen actually went back to her family home. And although Janice wanted to press charges against Cameron, they agreed to like try and work things out. And over time, clearly not. I mean, the guy kidnapped this poor girl, right, when she was 20 years old, kept her in this disgusting conditions for 7 years. You're not gonna change him with, oh, I'm gonna sue you, honey.
Uh,
You're not gonna change his mind. So eventually, Janice becomes Janice.
Janice went and confessed to a
What was it
pastor.
called?
The pastor then called the police. Yeah, yeah.
Was it a
It was a
pastor?
pastor. Then she then
Right.
confessed to the pastor with the police again as a testimony. And what actually happened was the guy went to jail for 50 to life, I think. Oh,
It was 100
100
years.
something then. 100 years with
Yeah.
little chance for parole. And she actually was not given any punishment, right?
Yeah. Janice escaped punishment. She's guilty, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I feel like
Honestly,
she's guilty as well.
70. I feel like normal people wouldn't even be able to watch 5 seconds of the thing or 1 second or even know it's an actual thing. Like you sat there 7 years. You deserve punishment as well. So let's sum up the whole story then, because our terrible storytelling skills are taking up. So Khalid Stan was a 20-year-old woman, sorry, hitchhiking from Oregon to go to Los Angeles, to go to California, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
for her friend's birthday. This couple, Janice and Cameron Hooker, again, irony on the family name, right? She gets kidnapped by them. She is tortured daily, not just physically, the whips and being tied to the roof, to the ceiling, sorry, but also mentally, where she was forced to call Cameron her master. She
Dehumanized.
was degraded. She was dehumanized. Yeah, and all that. And this happened for 7 years. Eventually, Janice went and confessed to the pastor. They informed the FBI. Janice was given full immunity because she
Yep.
testified against her husband. And this monster, this evil cunt, has been sentenced to 100 years in prison.
Very nice.
Pretty heavy story.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is so. It
Damn,
is so
Janice gotta
terrible,
be
man.
safe and
Honestly,
lucky. Good for her.
I know that. Yeah, she's a 60-plus-year-old woman now.
Wait, is this a real story?
63 years old.
Yeah, it is.
She's
Dude.
Very,
There's actually
yeah.
a few films made and books
very nice.
about her kidnapping.
So what's the story?
Yeah,
What's the
Mark
story
and I are
called?
not creative enough to
I mean, the book.
the kidnapping
The
of
The
Colleen
book.
No,
Stan.
no.
Oh,
I
the
don't care
book
about the book.
The Girl in the
should
Box.
be around the
Colleen
same.
Stan.
Yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah.
You know,
The
Iron
Girl in the
Fist.
Box. Yeah.
Yeah.
Iron Fist's girlfriend is called Colleen Wing.
What does that have to do with it?
All right,
All
man.
right.
I'm just
All right.
I'm just saying.
Wow. Great contribution.
All right.
All right. That's
Yeah.
our story done. Mark, I'm proud of us, man. I
Yeah,
feel
cheers,
we
G.
tried, Like, guys, you guys listening, right? If you tune in this far, like the reason why we decided to start a podcast was to work on our public speaking skills. So you got to start somewhere, man. One day, a 40-minute video of us telling the same story could be cut down
Mm-hmm.
to 10 minutes. We're working on that.
All right. So is it out? So should we say it now? Can we say it?
This is
Yeah,
not
take
a
the
real.
stage, bro.
This
The
is
stage
not
is
based
yours.
on real stories, real circumstances. This is purely fictional. All right, just to put it out there.
Yep.
Mm,
I mean,
I got
imagine
you.
if it was real, though, it would be pretty fucked up. But hey. So this is written by an author named Brian
No
Bussell.
doubt.
All right. He. we got this. I mean, I read this story a long time ago. On a the creepypasta, right? When creepypasta was still a thing.
Yeah. Oh, creepypasta was my kryptonite, yo.
Yep. So I read that.
I was tormented as a kid with creepypasta stories.
I read the story there. And if you guys are really interested, it's called No End House. I mean, I'm anyway going to tell it anyway.
Mm,
So it's
Yeah.
about a guy named David Williams. All right. And David Williams had a friend named Peter. All right. And Peter was a heroin addict. All right.
right.
So, and I don't know. I completely forgot what David was like. I don't know what he was doing. And I heard that Peter told him that like there was a place called No End House, and if you complete it, you get $500. All right. And David was like, sure, why not? All right. And there's 9 rooms in total. All right. And David was like, okay, there's 9 rooms in total. If I complete it, I get $500. So what's the harm in doing it? And David goes,
So he started like a little challenge.
yeah, he
right?
takes up the challenge, and he goes to No End House and register and starts the first room. Manu, do you want to talk
No,
about
you
the
go
first
for
room?
it.
All right, cool. The first room is basically simple. It's just a normal Halloween setup, like pumpkins, bats, tower ghost, those kind of thing. It's just a normal thing. It's not even that scary. It's all like like posters and those kind of things for to scare you. That was the thing. And David's like, hey, that's the case. So this is gonna be easy as pie. So he sees towards his front. He sees the second door, and he's like, you know what? I'm already in the second door. Let's go for it. He opens the door, goes in, and now he starts to realize it's more about technology kind of thing, because there was fog machine and moving bats, like on the ceiling, the bats on the ceiling, and it's moving around.
Mhm.
But it's more technology kind of thing,
Right.
right? But the weird thing is, he feels a sense of dread, like a small sense of dread, right? Which is unusual because he was completely normal. He was completely normal. He had no mental illness. He does not do any drugs, nothing. Okay, unlike his friend Peter.
Peter
Right.
Park.
So then he goes. Then he's in front of him. Then he sees the third door, and he's like, you know what? I'm at the third door already. He opens the third door, and he finds a single chair. Okay,
Right.
a single
Like in the
in the middle of the room, a single chair and a lamp. All right. But the weird thing is, the amount. Okay, if there's a single chair and a lamp, how many shadows should there be? How many shadows can there be in that room? Give me a guess.
Should be of the
It
chair.
should be at least one or two shadows because there's a shadow of the lamp as well,
Yeah.
right? But instead, he saw more shadows than that's given. So there's like a bunch of shadows on the walls, bunch of shadows on the ceiling, which was unusual because then again, that should not be there in the first place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Only chair and
So
lamp.
he
Yeah.
is like, okay, this is not right. I did not do any drugs. Okay, but then he's because still his mind is still trying to rationalize the situation. It's like, okay, I used to have hallucination as a kid, so maybe I'm hallucinating these things. He's trying to rationalize this.
Wait, what if his heroin addict friend like brought him a drink earlier?
We don't know. It could be, right? So
bro, this one's on me, man. This one's on me. Go for it. Go for it. Yeah, but yeah, multiple shadows.
Then he's
right?
like, okay, that's kind of weird. So he goes back the door he came in. So like, which means like coming from the second room to the third room. So he's going back to the door he came in, right? Then he turns the doorknob, but it does not open because then he realizes that it's locked from the other side. So he's like, wait a second, I didn't know they're gonna lock my progression, right? Because which is not right. Because if I want to leave anytime, I can't leave, right? So
Yeah.
then he looks back and he realizes all the shadow disappears, and he's like,
Oh God.
then he's just like, what the hell is going on, right?
Yeah.
Then he's like, then there's no way of getting out. So the only way to go, is progress. So he goes to the fourth door. And Manu, do you want to explain
Yeah,
this?
sure. So basically, the fourth room, there was no light. There was nothing. It was basically the absence of absolutely everything. Every sense you have, it did not exist in that room. Basically, he could not hear himself speak. He could not hear even his own breathing. The only thing he could hear was his own heartbeat. And so this kept on going for a while,
Okay.
and then he felt this. He was like he was not a person who was scared before, but like all of a sudden, he felt scared like never before, and he noted, like the author noted, or the person was like, this was possibly the most disturbing room, not the most frightening, but the most disturbing room. And all of a sudden he started hearing this humming noise. And this humming noise was he didn't know where it was, but he knew it's like surrounded him, right? And then like his like the hair on his back started like standing up. He was just terrified. And then and then he was like he couldn't quite describe it, but he knew there was something there. He could not see it, but he knew there was something. There was like there was like a being lurking down there. He could feel it like in his bones. And all of a sudden, the humming became louder and louder as he get closer. And all of a sudden there was a flash of light. And in that flash of light, he could see that there was nothing there.
Right.
But he knew like for a fact, but there was like some being lurking down there. Something that absolutely terrified him. But like when the light, like a sudden flash of light, it was there for like in 1 nanosecond. He could see in that instant there was nothing there. Which is weird because he was certain there was something there. And then, exactly.
It's like an unknown.
He was not scared of dying, right? He states this. But he was scared of what would happen to him if he continued to live. What that being would do to him. And then he kept going forward. As soon as the light finished, he heard a scream. That humming had turned into like a screeching scream. And then he saw the door number 5 and he walked into it screaming. Jesus. Like whatever was humming before was not screaming. He walked into door 5 and he kept on running forward. And after some time, he looked up and it was and then he realized it was trees. It was basically branches of trees like looming over him, and he was shocked. He was like, "How could this be? It was a room. How could there be trees and everything? It was like a forest. How could there be a forest inside a house? It was meant to scare him, but like this level of intensity, this level of real, it was so realistic. The forest. It was like it didn't make sense. He kept running, and he wished like the next door would show up somewhere. And then this running like seemed like it was forever. 1 hour, 2 hours. The presence of time was non-existent because he didn't know how much time has passed. He didn't know what was going on. He was just hoping for the next door after every branch that he passed. And then at one moment he felt insects or bugs falling down on him. So he started. It was the feeling when like bugs fall on you and start like crawling on you everywhere. But it was that multiplied by let's say infinity because it was just pouring bugs everywhere.
Yeah, it's like when you think like a bug's on
so
you,
basically
but there, right?
he started flailing his arms everywhere, but the bugs are there. That's what he sees. Like he could see the bugs. He could feel the bugs. Right?
Wow.
He starts beginning to like crawl. He didn't know what was going on. The bugs just started like clawing on them. At least that's what I felt. And out of nowhere, he tried desperately to like crush the insects, but he could not do anything. They were unaffected. But then he kept moving, flailing. He closed his eyes and he opened it again, and the bugs was not there. It was like it existed a moment ago, but now it had just disappeared, like it was not there even in the first place.
Dang.
After what seemed like hours, his body was exhausted. He began to give up all hope, and then in one moment he heard that low, droning hum again. This time, as he kept running, the hum became louder and louder. Before it was surrounded, like it was like the hum was surrounding him, but right now it was in front of him. He could hear the hum, like becoming louder and loud. And each time he walks forward, the hum becomes even more menacing, right? And then he saw the door. He saw a door which had the number 6 engraved into it. And then he walked to it like scared. He grabs the knob.
Door 6.
The hum was so loud that he could not even hear himself think. He moved on. Yeah.
He's like disoriented.
Room 6 was next. And room 6 was hell. Abhishek, would you like to take it from here?
Yep. So room 6.
I like this story, man.
Room 6 is just identical to room 3. But this time, the single chair and the lamp, which was there, had the right type of shadows. There wasn't more than one shadows or nothing. But what really made it really like frightening is that there was no exit door, and the door he came through just disappeared. So there was
he's
there's no way of escape, and there's only black. There's only black wall. So like with the frustration of like getting out, because of course you've been through a lot, and you want to get out of that place. So he starts scratching like in the place where the doorknob was, and he just keeps on scratching because he was so afraid. Then he just kneels down, scratching, and out of nowhere he hears, "Are you all right?" And the sudden spike in his body, and he just turns around, and he sees a little girl, right? Then this little girl just normally dressed, like a blonde, blue-eyed, normal girl. But what's really frustrating was a man right next to her. Okay, the author does not say, like, he says like he cannot call her a devil, but it can be a devil, right? Because
oh my God, it's Cameron Hooker. It's Cameron Hooker from the last.
Actually, can I clear something?
God.
In the version I read,
yeah, sure,
it was not the man the beast standing next to her. It was as if the girl and the beast was like one. It was like he was staring into 2 dimensions at the same time. It was like the girl and the beast was the same thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I need to get to it. I need to get to that thing. I need to get to that part. The thing is, I was the reason I'm saying one by one, then I'll describe like how the thing was going on. Okay, so So yeah, like that's what's literally happening. So the thing is, this thing was disorientated. It's like having two, having to describe two personality, but having to visualize two personality on one single person, right? It's like you look at a person and you see two of
Yeah.
the personalities on
It's
that
like
single person.
it's like looking
right
at two
there. That's
dimensions
how
at
it
the same
was.
time. You know,
Right. It's
it
like
was that
split,
it was like you're looking at a girl and the beast
Yeah.
at the same time, but they were the same person, but with different forms and different voices. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a person
Yeah,
split,
basically.
right? It's like a spectrum.
Yeah, it's like then the author says, like, when the girl speaks, it's like the sound comes from the man, and when the man speaks, the sound comes from the girl. So it's like that's
Dang.
the best way to explain it, right? So he was just, of course, he was just like, still freaked out and still scratching on the like doorknob, trying to figure out, like, I want to get out of this place. I want to get out of this place, right? Then the demon keeps on saying that, like, he couldn't leave, right? Kept on taunting him, like, mocking him, and he's just like, you can't leave this place. You're trapped here.
Oh wow.
And he still keeps on scratching the door, and he's just like, then he just gives up, right? Then he looks back at his scratching, and he sees the number 7. So all his time, he was scratching 7 on the door, right?
Oh, he was the one carving 7 into the door
Yeah.
with his bare
Without
fingers.
even knowing it. He was
Dang.
unaware of it.
Good. Right.
Right. So he looks behind the wall, and there was on the door in it, which literally is the door number 8. I mean, door number 7. So he opens the door and he goes
Right.
through. And Manav, you want to do it?
Yeah, sure. So basically, he goes through door number 7. He was outside. He was outside of the, let's say the haunted house or whatever. He was shocked. He was like, "How? I was just inside, and now you're suddenly outside the haunted house." Did he escape? He didn't know what was going on, but he ran to his car. He started up his car and started leaving immediately, because that's what you would do. If you were experiencing this hell and you get out of that place, you would want to leave immediately and get as far
Yeah.
away as possible. He started up his car.
Yeah.
He dashed to his
Get me a
house as fast as he can. He opened the door of his house. He did everything normal. He just wanted to, take a shower, take a hot shower, pet his cat and go to sleep. A sleep that would probably just keep him, like, he probably won't be able to sleep, but just prepare for. Exactly.
As you do,
Exactly.
seeing a devil, you
Exactly. So
take a hot shower. and pet
he went upstairs. He saw his cat. He was like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" And then he went to a shower. He prepared, knowing this would be a sleepless night. He went back. He was like, might as well just make some food. He walked down the stairs
Right.
to the kitchen. And what he saw then was engraved into his mind forever. He could never unsee that. It was the bodies of his parents mutilated.
Okay, what is it?
Their limbs torn and put next to them. And on the dead bodies of their parents, he could see a frightening smile, a menacing smile. And the smile was so wide, it was unreal. He knew his parents didn't live with him, so he knew they were not real. It was basically something imitating his parents. It was, but like, he was wondering how.
Right.
He got out of the house, what was going on, and then all of a sudden it hit him. He saw the door next, like, past the bodies, a door that was not there before in his house, a huge door that, like, grabbed his eyes. He could never unsee it.
God.
It was a door with the number 8 engraved into it. And then at that moment he realized, oh my god, oh my god,
Oh my god. Mark.
oh my
I think
god.
Oh, that's door number 9.
my
That's
God.
door number 9. Get out of
Alright,
there.
so
I think Mark is David
oh
Williams.
my god. All right, so basically, and then at that moment he realized he was in room number 7. And then at that moment,
When room number 8.
7.
Jeez.
It was number
Oh,
7.
okay.
It was number
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
And then
Yeah.
he
Yeah, you're
was out of all hope, And then at that moment, he gave up. The smiling faces of his parents tore into his mind. They grounded him where he stood. And then again, he vomited again, like he vomited before as well. And then he just nearly collapsed. And then that hum before, that unnerving hum, it was back once
Right.
again. And it was louder than ever. And it
Right,
filled
that
the
came
house
back.
and shook the walls. The hum almost, compelled him to walk. And then he moved closer and closer to the door, walking past the bodies. He could barely stand, It was like he wanted to commit suicide, but he couldn't. The only thing he could do was walk closer towards the door, past his mutilated dead bodies of his parents. But the only thing he could do was walk towards the door with the number 8 engraved into it. The walls were shaking now, so hard the wall.
Wow.
It was like it was going to crumble. But still, the faces, the smiles on the parents' faces started to become wider and wider as he kept getting closer to the door. Now he was between the two bodies, a few feet away from the door. The dismembered hands clawed their way across the carpet towards him. All the faces continued to stare. New terror washed over him. And he tried to walk faster because he was like, he didn't want to be part of this, He was trying to, he doesn't want his parents to, at least what looked like his parents, to dismember him as well,
Yeah.
And then
He
just ran into room 8. He just threw himself into room 8. He didn't know what else to do. He had literally no other choice. And then he began. It was room 8. Abhishek, do you want to continue? Yeah.
Do you want to continue? Sure. All right. Room 8.
Lord,
Okay, this is like the greatest room of all. Because this was exactly the same as room 3 and room 6, which was the chair. And instead of an empty chair, there was a man sitting on it. All right. So as he got closer to the man, he realized something. The man is actually David Williams. And who is David Williams? Himself. So
Oh my
he was
God.
meeting himself. But the eerie thing about that was his doppelganger kept on saying, "Don't
Right.
hurt me." Right? And like his actual self is like wondering, is like, how am I gonna hurt you? And what and how, who are you? I mean, because he doesn't know, like, first of all, it's kind of weird asking yourself. Imagine seeing yourself and your
It's not kind of full blown weird, man.
exactly. It's like you're seeing yourself. It's just really weird. You can't even ask who are you, because it's like you already know who you are, but you just confuse yourself to saying that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so it did not
Hold
make
up,
any sense,
Abhishek,
right?
hold up.
And
Just to clear up, Abhishek made a mistake saying room
What?
3, but what he meant to say was room 4 and 6. It was same as room 4 and 6. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's
no
fine.
4
Yeah.
no
Okay.
4 is no light. Room 3 is the chair.
Was it? All right, then it's just a mistake
I
by
was
me.
right.
Ignore me, guys. I didn't read the story properly.
Nah, it's fine, man. It's fine. We'll cut it out. Nah,
Okay.
joke.
So below,
It's all good, bro. The vibe is what's important.
right. So he noticed something. Below the chair was a knife, and it has a tag written on it. Right, there was a tag stuck on it, and the tag said, "To David from management." Right, and what was really really frightening was there was a red patch on the doppelganger. Okay, on a shirt, basically saying 9, 9 as in the number 9. So
Oh my God, he's a door.
So now he's having a thought process. Okay, number 7 is the door that was created by him by scratching the wall, and number 8 was the door that was written by the bloods of his parents, and number 9 is literally himself. So now, and he has a knife with him. So all he had to do was take the knife, and make a door for himself, right?
Oh, raw.
Okay, so but the thing is, the doppelganger who kept on saying, "Don't hurt me, please don't hurt me," right, stood up, and instead of that like frightening face, instead of like in the fear, he gave a huge grin, and he says, "I'm going to hurt you," right? But he did not move. He just kept on saying, "I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you." He kept on repeating that. But
Yeah.
the real David, lunged at him, took the knife, and stabbed him in the chest. Right? And as soon as that happened,
Right.
everything became dark. Everything was darkness. Right? And he felt like he was falling, kept on falling. Right? But he couldn't help himself get the feeling of lost, and he became depressed. He felt suicidal because, first of all, you just killed a man, and worst of all, you killed yourself. It's like you're killing your own person, you know? It's like this.
Yeah. Essentially.
Yeah. So he didn't know. Then like after some time, he felt the ground and he was standing. Right, and the author says like then it's like in front of him, like a movie cliche. There was light. There was light, right?
Mm.
So he walked towards the light, and there was an unmarked door. There was no number on the door. It was just a door. He opened the door, and he was back to the lobby of the No End house, like where there was like the like bats, the pumpkins, those kind of things. It wasn't like like normal Halloween stuff. Nothing scary, nothing bad. And on the desk was an envelope with $500 and a note saying, "Congratulations, you've completed the challenge." All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woohoo!
So he then after that he just couldn't help himself but start laughing. So he just laughed throughout the entire time. He laughed as he got to his car. He laughed as he has his driveway to his house. He laughed as he got out of his car, and he laughed as he got to the front part of his door. As he opened it, he noticed a number 10 etched on his door. Yeah, that's the end of the story.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Yeah,
Dang
That is
it.
the No End house. Yeah.
but like
You know what I realized?
what
But
You know what I realized this story is?
what?
This is basically Narnia on DMT. Narnia on
I
acid.
would love to go to
This is
Narnia.
what this story is.
Good.
Yeah, Narnia. Imagine like Lucy. What's her name? Lucy Pensievy,
Mhm.
right? The youngest of all siblings.
Yeah, Lucy. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, smoking a fat blunt and walking through the wardrobe. And she
Yeah,
comes
what if
back
this
with
guy was
glory.
just on heroin or some shit, man?
Wow.
Yeah, I think so.
Exactly.
No, but the real question is, how did Peter get out? Because Peter did go in,
But
right?
you said he didn't. You said he didn't
Peter did
complete
go.
it or something, right?
Yeah, he did not complete it. Peter, but the thing is,
What
remember,
if
he couldn't go
What
out.
if he did? What if he did
remember,
complete it? What if the
remember,
Peter was not real? You know? What if it was just a apparition sent by the end house management to lure in his friend David? You know? You know what I'm saying?
What if Lord Sandra saved him?
Oh my
Huh?
God! What if
I
it
think
was
so.
two
I think
choices
so.
In
to succumb to the end house or to serve Lord Sandra as a simp forever, and he chose the latter. Oh
what
my
if
God.
Peter?
To be
Oh my
honest,
God, it-
What if Peter's real name is Sander?
yo, I feel like,
I think
What if
Peter.
hey,
Peter's real
listen,
name?
man, I'd gladly go to the end
Bumba.
house rather than face Lord Sandra. Lord Sandra is truly, truly frightening. Bro, just
Exactly.
saying that name, man.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm gonna
I-
wet my pants, man.
Bro,
Shit, I think shit is coming out.
I already did,
Oh
bro. I
my
already
God,
did.
my mother's gonna whip me, man. Shit, man.
It already did.
Wait, you let your mother clean your shit-filled pants,
Oh my
man?
god, my arm is falling off, guys.
I said my mother's gonna whip me, man. Man, I stopped my bedwetting like 2 years ago, and it's like, wait, hold up. Wait,
Oh
None of
my
you're
God.
18.
Oh my God.
2 years,
It only
2
came
years
out-
ago,
came
huh?
out wrong. 2 years.
bro. This
2
dude was
years.
doing his.
What I meant to say
Yes,
was, I never bedwetted guys. It was never a thing for me. I no problem. I mean,
yo, man was doing
2 years.
Jeez, bro.
2 years, man. He just exposed himself. Oh my God.
I don't still wear
Man was
Pampers,
living
guys.
his best
The
bed doing
Pampers
PTSD.
outside in the garbage bin outside my house is my brother's. It's not me, guys. It's
Yo,
Mark. Manav was sitting in his art IGCSE.
What the freaking
God damn it.
diaper on?
God damn it.
The fourth time this week.
Man, I thought I could keep it a secret.
Dude, he didn't go to the toilet to pee. He
Yeah,
actually went to the
fifth time
toilet to
this
change
week.
his diapers.
Yeah, man. You know, in the IA award, they asked like if you had any problems, and one of them was bedwetting, and I lied. I said I didn't have that problem.
That's the real Halloween
man.
story, bro.
Yeah.
I woke up, and it felt like this foreign liquid, this acid, was drowning me. And when I opened my eyes, all I saw was the ceiling. And I see
What
Lord
if Lord
Sandra.
Sandra had to interfere in everything,
And she
man? You know
looked
me,
at me.
bedwetting. God damn it.
No. Wait. You haven't heard the full story. And she looked at me with glowing red eyes, and she told me, Manav, baka tayo.
Even I
What
don't
does that
understand what
mean?
that is. Not Filipino.
I ban you from going toilet. Chicken nut bread, go toilet.
Okay.
Chicken nut, go toilet. And Manav, no, Lord Sandra.
God damn it, man.
But damn. Yeah, man. You know
The
what? At
real
least we end
Halloween
on
story.
a happy note. Yeah, this is a dark episode.
Yeah, man.
I enjoyed it, yo.
Yeah, very fun.
Stories. Yeah. You know what? I hope you guys listening enjoy. Again, like I said, we use this podcast as an excuse to build our social skills and build our public speaking skills, and also to make some friends.
I'm gonna
But
also lose
besides
some
that,
friends
I
along the
hope you
way,
guys
but
enjoyed.
like, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Hey, shut up, man. Lord Sandra is not a friend. Lord Sandra is an elite. She's above us. Okay? When she goes to eat chicken adobo, she's always first in the line.
What the hell?
Oh my god.
But anyways, with that being said, we do have announcements. We do have a few announcements. Guys, this episode will be the last one where we use the logo, because we have a new logo design coming on the way. So I hope you guys will enjoy
Yep.
that. And also, we've got a special guest. I'll be interviewing my friend who is a musician in Malaysia. Watch out for that episode coming out soon as well. Oh, well, Lord Sandra got Abhishek, and Lord Sandra is coming for us too. So with that being said,
Cheers,
you
Jay.
guys take care, man. Stay safe out there.
Yeah, and don't
Take care.
and
Peace.
don't hitchhike.
Yo, love
don't
you guys,
hitchhike.
man. Wonderful job today. Honestly, wonderful job. Don't hitchhike and don't go into houses.
Don't
I
open
guess.
doors.